Have you ever accidentally found out that you were about to be fired? I was working at this small marketing company for about 8 months when I decided to surprise my boss with coffee one morning. Janet had been super stressed lately, working crazy hours, so I thought I'd be nice and grab her usual order from the coffee shop downstairs. I got to the office early, around 7:30, which was weird for me since I'm usually rolling in right at 9. The place was empty except for some lights on in the conference room. I could hear voices, so I figured Janet was in an early meeting. As I walked toward her office to leave the coffee, I heard my name through the conference room door, not in a good way either. I froze and listened. "We need to let Tyler go by Friday," Janet was saying. "He's just not cutting it. The Peterson campaign was a disaster, and frankly, I think he's too immature for this role." My stomach dropped. The Peterson campaign wasn't even my fault. The client kept changing their mind every 2 days, and Janet knew that. "What about the Morrison project?" another voice asked. I recognized it as David from HR. "I'll reassign it to Ashley. She can handle Tyler's workload easily. Kid's been coasting anyway." Coasting? I'd been staying late 3 nights a week trying to keep up with everything they kept piling on me. "When do you want to tell him?" David asked. "Friday afternoon. Clean and simple. We'll say it's budget cuts." I stood there holding Janet's stupid vanilla latte, feeling like an idiot. Here I was trying to be thoughtful, and she was literally planning to fire me in 3 days. Instead of leaving the coffee and running, I did something crazy. I went back to my desk, opened my laptop, and started documenting everything. Every email where Janet had praised my work, every project I'd completed on time, every instance where she'd changed directions and blamed me for the confusion. Then I remembered something. Last month, Janet had asked me to clean up the shared drive. While organizing files, I'd accidentally seen some stuff I probably shouldn't have. Budget reports showing the company was actually doing really well. Pay scales showing Janet was paying herself almost double what the owner probably knew about. I also found emails between Janet and Ashley that were pretty interesting. They'd been talking about getting rid of me for weeks, not because of my performance, but because Ashley wanted my desk by the window. By Wednesday, I had everything organized. Screenshots, email chains, even a recording from when Janet had yelled at me for something Ashley had actually messed up. Thursday night, I stayed late and sent a detailed email to the company owner, Ross, who worked remotely from Seattle. I laid out everything: the budget discrepancies, the personal vendetta, the real reason behind my firing. Friday morning came. I dressed nicely, brought donuts for everyone, and acted completely normal. Around 3 p.m., Janet called me into the conference room with David. "Tyler, we need to discuss your future here," Janet started, using her fake sympathetic voice. "Is this about the budget cuts?" I asked innocently. She looked surprised. "Well, yes. Unfortunately, we have to let you go. It's nothing personal, just business." "That's weird," I said, pulling out my phone. "Because Ross called me an hour ago." Janet's face went white. "He's actually promoting me to project manager and asked me to help him investigate some financial irregularities. Apparently, someone's been inflating their salary without authorization." David started shuffling papers nervously. Janet just stared at me. "Oh, and Ashley's being transferred to our Portland office, effective Monday. Ross thought she might benefit from a change of scenery." I stood up and smiled. "Thanks for the meeting, though. Really cleared things up." Janet got fired the following Wednesday. Turns out she'd been skimming money for months and had convinced the owner I was incompetent to cover her tracks. I'm still at the company, now making 30% more than Janet was paying me.